Spotlight uses a special English method of broadcasting. It is easier for people to understand no matter where in the world they live. The words people say about another person have a great influence on that person's life. They particularly affect that person's future. The words have even more influence than what a person does. These words come from the book Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. The book was first published in France in 1892, but people still read and study it today. It has been a film and a famous musical play. So why is it still so popular? Today, spotlight is on Les Miserables. Les Miserables followed the story of one man, John Van, but it is also about many other things. History, politics, and problems in society. It is also very long. The longest versions are 19,000 pages. The events happen over many years in the earlier 9th century. The book is very complex with many events. At the beginning of the book, Vanzon is a poor young man. His parents have died. His sister and her children have no food. So Vanzon steals some bread for them. The police catch him and put him in prison. This starts a long and difficult time for Vanzon. He is in prison for 19 years just for stealing bread. When the authorities free him, he is alone, without friends or family. One man does have Vanzon. His name is Bishop Mariel, and he is a leader in a Christian church. Bishop Mariel gives Vanzon a place to stay. But that night, Vanzon steals some valuable silver objects from the bishop. Vanzon believes that this is the only way he can live. By stealing, he runs away, but soon the police catch him again. Vanzon expects the bishop to accuse him. Instead, the bishop protects him. Bishop Mariel tells the police that he gives Vanzon the silver. He also gives Vanzon more valuable things, and he encourages Vanzon to change his life. Vanzon never forgets what the bishop has said. After more events, Vanzon begins to think that he has been very wrong. He will spend the rest of his life doing good things. This is a time of great change for Vanzon. He moves to a different part of France, a small town. He changes his name. He starts a successful business. All of this is very good, but one more change is coming. Vanzon employs a young woman named Fantine. Fantine is also alone in the world, but she has a little daughter named Consist. Fantine has many problems in her life. Finally, she becomes very sick and dies. But before she dies, Vanzon promises to care for Cosest. Cosest comes to live with Vanzon. Together, they return to Paris. Cosette is like a daughter to Vanzon. He loves her very much, and she loves him. Uh, as she gets older, she meets a poor student. They fall in love. This student's name is Marius. Marius becomes involved in a student rebellion. During a conflict with police, Marius almost dies, but Vanzon rescues him. He carries him away through the sewer, the great pipes underneath the city. This is one of the most famous parts of the book. Finally, Cosette and Marius marry. Vanzon tells Marius about his history. At first, Marius rejects Vanzon because he was in prison, but then Marius understands that Vanzon was a good man who tried to do the right things. Marius and Cosette return to Vanzon just before Vanzon dies. Through all these events, there is one more important character. This is a police officer, Javel. Javel is searching for Vanzon. He believes that Vanzon must return to prison. He catches Vanzon many times, but Vanzon always escapes. Finally, during the student rebellion, Vanzon has the chance to kill Javel, but instead Vanzon saves Javel. Javel struggles with his conscience. Vanzon showed Javel kindness. Javel cannot now capture and kill Vanzon, but he believes that the law requires him to do so. Finally, Javel kills himself. So why has this story been so popular? It contains many subjects that are common to our people. The main idea is redemption. John Vanzon decides to stop doing wrong. He decides to do right instead. This decision shines through the whole book. Vanzon gives money to the poor. He sacrificed to save and protect many people. At the end, Vanzon dies a happy man. His family love and accept him, but in his life he suffers much. people do not understand him, and he is always trying to do escape from the well. Forgiving other people is another important idea in the story. Vanzon forgives Zavel, but Zavel cannot forgive himself. He wants to do his job well. He is a devoted the Lord. He always wants to do things right. In the end, he cannot accept his failures to capture Vanzon. But but these are not the only reasons. Les Miserables has been successful. Hugo shows conscience is also clear in the book. In the characters of Fantine and Cosette, he describes the problem of poverty. In Vanzon's long struggle with the veil, he explains the problems of crime and policemen. He has sympathy for all the characters, even the characters who continue to do bad things. Vanzon is not the only character with a criminal past. Many people still tell lies and do all they cannot to get money. In many parts of the book, Hugo also stopped telling the story to describe the social and political condition of France. In one part, the describer in detail the character and policy of the French King Louis Philippe. In another part, he describes the history and condition of the sewers under the city of Paris. Les Miserables was very successful when it was published. Les Miserables was very successful when it was published. Many people bought copy in France, but the publisher also translated it into many other languages. It was popular across Europe and in North America, and since then it has remained very popular. People connect the ideas, the characters, and the history. In the beginning of the book, Victor Hugo wrote his reasons for the book. These reasons may be why the book has stayed important and popular. He talks about the way society and create terrible conditions for people. In particular, he talks about poverty, lack of food, and spiritual emptiness. The book deals with all of these issues. He closes this part with these words: as long as lack of knowledge and great sadness exist on earth, there is a use for books like this. The writer of this program was Sheila Goldwyn. The producer was Nick Marriott. All codes were adapted for this program and voiced by Spotlight. You can listen to this program again and read it on the internet at www.radioenglish.net. This program is called A Story for All Times. Let Miserable. We hope you can join us again for the next Spotlight program. Goodbye.